that it's about YouTube, but could we please, or could we, do we have an opportunity to choose, for example, Instagram accounts or some other social media source? So I guess that's all. My colleagues could catch up if they remember something else.
Thank you very much, Daria. If I may, I'll respond to you, and then we gather further reactions and questions. First one about the source of data. Just please send me the links to the channels or accounts that you want to analyze, and I'll send you the basic reports, like from this Hype Auditor reports, which is the fullest ones, I guess, that we can get. But I'm also encouraging you to use other analytical platforms, even if it's a short free trial period. I think it's just something that you would need to learn anyway if you will be working in media sphere. So the faster you start, the better it is. And yeah, sometimes like to make your own research, to finish your own research, trial version is enough simply. But of course, I'll provide you with the data on the topic that you want to study. So just please, like someone has already wrote me, Alessia, and I guess someone else. So just don't hesitate to send me the links. Today we again look a little bit closer to what kind of data we can gather. But yeah, I expect links from you, and then we will discuss it more or less on kind of individual basis. And during the seminar, in the context of the group, everyone will be able to watch others' projects, to comment, to recommend, to criticize, etc. So this is the first question of yours. The second question of yours about the other platforms, not YouTube. Yes, it's possible, absolutely. If you would like to study Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter, don't hesitate. Just write me. Sorry.
Пока нет.
Yeah, Polina, just please, Polina Milnichuk, please mute your microphone.
Sorry.
Thank you. And yeah, so it just in case of Twitter, for example, or TikTok, the data could be not of that quality as of YouTube and Instagram. Instagram is actually even better. It's more precise data that we get because as we discussed last time, the YouTube data are about the users are much more anonymized, and it's harder actually to distinguish gender, location, age in case of YouTube than in case of Instagram. So I think Instagram, the data about the Instagram users are much higher quality. Why I was suggesting to focus on YouTube, because it had very important kind of political political influence or political significance in Belarus. And and the last point before Masha will take a floor, also the something that you were asking, Daria. I will show again the kind of the assignment, what is actually needed from you. And I guess you see my screen. So this is just a quote from what you have in Moodle. Let's just look at it all together, and you let me know if this is transparent for you or not. So basically, research question should have three parts or three elements. First, it should refer to qualitative aspects of a certain YouTube channel or Instagram account or TikTok account. And by qualitative, I mean that in this context, but it could be, yeah, not that much about the genre, but more about, I don't know, function but basically qualitative description of what you're interested in. And yeah, just please please let me know if it's not really clear. Second is that research questions should reflect on the following quantitative information. First, it's the level popularity of channel or account. So basically, you have to more or less assess how significant it is for this or that society. Like, as of course, it sometimes it's interesting to study rather small artifacts. Yeah, they could be something not super significant in quantitative terms, but very interesting qualitatively. But as this course is about quantitative data analysis, first of all, I mean, learning how to make use of the quantitative data that we have, so we have a focus on quantitative. So basically, level of popularity is the second element of the research question, and the third is the characteristics of chosen channels audience. So basically, if to kind of try to put it into practice, then you take 2 or 3 channels of a similar genre, for example, civic journalism, or I don't know, beauty blogs or sports blogs, and then you look at these 2 channels, you assess their quantitative impact in terms of the views, the engagement rate, the subscribers growth, these kind of things. And on the other hand, the audience, for example, some beauty blog channel is having much older audience than another one, and then you try to explain what it implies, why so, what kind of how to explain those regularities, how to interpret those regularities. Is it clearer, Daria and everyone?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I guess that it's much more clearer now. And we were confused with this YouTube mention here and not mentioning another social media. And maybe just the last question about the parts of this research. As far as I understand, it's about numbers, so qualitative, it's for quality, quantitative, it's for numbers. So we shouldn't give some like social estimate we shouldn't give some explanation for these numbers. We just need to have like separated data about age, how much people, and so how many countries, which countries, and etc.
Yes, you have to present the numbers, but you also have to give explanation. For
Okay, so
example,
some
if
context as we did on our first lesson.
yes, more or less. Yes,
Okay.
more or less. But you have to interpret the regularities that you recognize. For example, you see that one beauty blog is watched by a much older audience, then you go and do qualitative analysis and try to understand what in its genre is actually attracting older, like older cohort of users. So for example, yeah, it's much more about selling something. So those people who come are actually those people who have money already, who earn enough to buy. So it just, I'm giving this example because today in the morning with the high residence students, we discussed this. One of your colleagues is doing actually comparative analysis of beauty blogs and trying to understand like what differentiates the age of the users, and her hypothesis is that there are much more buyers, like some channels, beauty vlogs are about selling something, and those who are more about business, about selling something, not about inspiring someone, they also attract older people, perhaps because those people already have money, etc., etc. So this is an example. Yeah. Then thank you very much, Daria and Masha, please.
We also was a little bit confused. We can choose any genre, or we can choose only Belarusian politics channels and accounts.
Yes, you can choose any. Basically, Belarusian political. I would like it, but of course I will not discriminate.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe more questions or comments
Yeah,
on this?
may I?
Yes, Algert.
I and a couple of other people face such issues that when we try to sign up to the, it's, if I'm not mistaken, is the SOTS website you send us, like unbox or something like that.
Plus
Uh,
Sumo. Or Unbox Social.
Unbox Social, yeah. It just don't allow us to sign up since it it can like show main page every time you put in your email, or just ask another email, or in Dasha's case, it just didn't send anything at
Mhm.
all.
Mhm. But
Yeah.
how many people managed to subscribe for Unbox Social? Other people who managed to?
I was uh, I was registered, but then site said that we will answer you, and then nothing. After like 5 hours, nothing was sent to me.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, sometimes it takes time. It's also the case. Yeah, sometimes it takes time. But you have a safe kind of backup. Just please send me the links and I'll send you back the reports.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
It's just really like those options that I gave you. It's more about your own exploration to better understand what are the different platforms with their possibilities, etc. I think, yeah, it's normal that you have to explore a lot of things on your own in your studies. So it's this part. So maybe more questions or comments.
I have a question.
Mm.
Should we necessarily analyze several channels, YouTube channels, or we can choose just one, for example?
Several is better because comparison is always allowing us to learn more. We learn more when we compare things.
Okay, we will need to compare channels, yeah?
That would be great. But of course, if you are kind of super interested in one particular project as an artifact, you can do it also. It depends on the angle, actually. It's always the matter of what do we learn. I think I just suggest us all to look at each other's steps from perspective of what like be curious and look at each other's steps from perspective of what can we learn by looking at this or that channel.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Super. So maybe more questions or suggestions, reflections. I don't know, Alessia, you received some reports from me. Are you ready to present something today? Maybe not right now, but a little bit after. First, I will show some of my slides, and still a little bit we'll look at the soft at the platform. But just for me to know how much time we need to leave, because it would be great if you would start talking. I think we could do it even in real time. Like, I mean, you already got your reports, but with some other people, we could just go to the platform and check what it allows to understand.
Yeah, I can share the reports.
Mhm.
It not clear for me now what exactly I would take from these reports. Like, do I need to maybe talk about age or about sex or about maybe I know about popularity, like gross popularity from last year. So I'm a bit in 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 the thoughts, I think. Yeah, but I can share it if or present it.
Yeah, okay, let's look at it together a little bit later. I'll first share my slides and still a little bit like show you something that I didn't manage to show last time, and then we switch to your presentations and ideas. Just again, the thing that we already seen. I think everyone remembers this. The what we know about Belarus, like in the moment where we see the growth of traffic in Instagram and actually decline of traffic on YouTube. I think what I wanted to show you is a different case. It's Iran, actually, and we see like what do you know about Iran? I think like talking about politics, it's super interesting, and I think it's very well portrays kind of Iranian society of last couple of years. I mean, when looking at this, how would you describe what's happening here in Iranian society? Like what attracts your attention first of all?
Of this fall of, I don't know, Instagram or
Mhm.
is it LinkedIn?
Yeah, it's the fall of Instagram. It's like first of all, it's the rise of Instagram here, and then the fall. Why? How can we explain it? What is it actually?
This is the COVID years.
No. Actually, COVID is here. You said January 2020.
May I?
Okay.
I'll
Sorry,
get.
is it in September was
Yeah, it's
started
about
this,
protests. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
about girl,
Protests, but why the drop? It's just because the state started to
because the internet, no?
yeah restricting Instagram and WhatsApp. So it's the Iranian state basically started to take repressive measures, and also a lot of people were kind of persecuted. But I'm sorry, I'm very sorry. But please, like what do we know about Iran, about Iranian society, and what those protests were about actually?
If I remember well, it was after girl was killed
Mhm.
because she didn't want to wear. I'm not sure. It's not paranja. It's
Hijab, it's
maybe yeah.
in English language, people say headscarf, headscarf.
Okay.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of types of it, so I'm not really sure. Okay, yeah, headscarf. So and
So
after that,
protests, yeah.
it started.
So protests were a lot about women rights, and in particular women rights to show themselves, kind of to show their bodies, to show their faces in public. And from this perspective, I just wanted to pay attention what Instagram as a medium is about, first of all. What kind of behavior Instagram is promoting, or what kind of behavior Instagram is actually enforcing, pushing. I don't know.
About showing yourself.
Yes, absolutely. I guess perhaps I don't know. Would you agree with Masha and myself saying that
I would,
yeah.
yeah, I would agree. And also maybe adding that about sharing and discussing something like maybe supporting each other, something like that.
Mm-hmm. So it's very much about your own identity and very visual kind of you really showing yourself and for some from this perspective, if to look at what was happening with the uses of Instagram in Iran in recent years, can we say that perhaps these protests, this clash with the state, with the quite harsh Islamic state? You see, it's the Islamic Republic of Iran, so it's Islamic Republic of Iran, not just Republic of Iran. So can we say that basically we should have predicted this conflict, these protests, this kind of the growth of the traffic, the growth of traffic of Instagram also means the growth of practice of showing yourself and also of articulating your kind of position publicly. And this is actually what was happening in Iran just a couple of years before the protest, and then we just saw at some point it just yes, one particular poor lady that was killed, and then it creates this kind of explosion. And but like what I'm trying to suggest you, isn't it clear that it was actually kind of logical? I mean, it was more or less the kind of destined this protests in Iran, this clash between people, between society that is becoming much more liberated, much more kind of showing themselves, especially women who we also know that Instagram is much more a female female network than male network. So can we say, can we, looking at this graph, can we maybe think whether these protests were unavoidable at the end? It's really, I don't want to persuade you to think this way, but do you agree or not, or I don't know.
I would
Yeah,
rather
seems
agree
like
than
it.
not. Sorry, Alice.
It's okay. Sorry.
Or maybe some other comments on this, like I think Iran is interesting case also. And it just like recently I was actually presenting at in the context where there were a lot of people from beyond Europe. So a lot of audience were from Iran, Afghanistan, you know, Central Asian states, Middle East. And actually I started to think about the thing that I never thought before, because you remember at the beginning of the class I was showing you these two polls, like American polls, American platform businesses and Chinese platform businesses plus some Korean. And I think that what is interesting about Belarus and also about, I don't know, Middle East and Central Asia, that currently these countries are somehow in the middle. They're integrated as societies, they're integrated both in American ecosystem, but geopolitically they are sometimes closer to China than to United States. And I think that it could be interesting to speculate, at least, like to think what will happen in 10 years, in 7 years. Can we expect, for example, that if Belarusian society or Russian society, also Iranian society, I don't know, Kazakhstan society will be much less democratic and very increasingly anti-American, can we expect that more Chinese digital platforms will be used, not American ones? For example, like in Belarus now, at first it sounds like a joke, but I think with time it's just becoming a tendency that we see more and more people buying Chinese cars instead of German cars or Czech cars. Can something like this happen with the digital platforms as well? It's really like more kind of speculative thing. But Algert, you wanted to comment or to ask?
Yeah, no, a comment, if I may. I think from the perspective of today's situation in the world, especially Middle East, I can say that this, um, how to say it in English, like people from Middle East and Central Asia can be more forced to use Chinese networks because it's become more and more obvious that there is a big conflict with West, especially United States, and today's situation between today's war between Israel and Palestine or Hamas uh, only makes it worse because many protests and many social network propaganda tells that it's not only fault of Israel, like those protests for Palestine, but also it's a fault of West government, especially United States, that donate money to Israel and so on.
Mhm. Yes, actually, this is also very interesting because, like, it's a little bit off topic, but I am in one of the international academic research networks, and there are some Palestinian colleagues there also, and they try now to kind of to make some public statements, and I myself, how say, I myself surprised, for example, that people don't want to acknowledge the Hamas attack, for example, on October 7th now, of course, in the longer history of the conflict there and the land grabs by Israel. But I think indeed it's also very edgy situation in geopolitical terms. I see that more and more people, because I see these people who I'm talking about, they're also academics having good academic positions in the United States, and still they choose very kind of hard language, like really kind of that they have to condemn Israel and Israel allies, and that's surprising to me. I think it's really yeah, it's creating really this kind of edgy situation, and yeah, but I'm just so thank you, Algert, for your comment. But I really think that we shouldn't take these kind of platforms ecosystems for granted. I think it's for sure it's a geopolitical issue, and I think this Iran protest is just another evidence of it. So we see that in fact it was very much about Instagram, not just at Instagram as a technical medium for communication, but also Instagram as nurturing certain lifestyle, making this lifestyle kind of normal, natural, like in their particular case, women showing themselves, and also women not afraid speaking publicly. So I think, yeah, we need to kind of having this geopolitical or political, in general, political background, to retain this political background of platforms. Yeah, if there are more questions or concerns, just please unmute and talk. I was saying that Belarus is actually quite similar to Venezuela, so I'm also keen to show you the Venezuelan social media traffic from 2018, and I think you see here that they're very active nations. So it's Facebook and Twitter, so it's kind of so-called, maybe it would sound a little bit as kind of caricature or a little bit simplistic, but we can say that Facebook and Twitter are activist kind of media. Yes, and this is something that is not really common for Belarus. In Belarus it's more like the media of rather kind of passive consumers, that Pinterest, YouTube, then okay, now Instagram grows, but Instagram mainly dominated by the accounts about retail and discounts and consumption. And like Ukraine, for example, is very, very kind of Facebook or Facebook centered, etc. So we looked at it. And yeah, this is Syria. Also, interestingly, it's very Facebook oriented. And then I wanted to show couple of things about Instagram specifically, because we talked about YouTube previously, and I just took two Instagram channels, two Instagram accounts in the top 10, like the top 10 most followed in Belarus, to try to understand who are these, like first of all, what kind of data are provided by the platform, and also to try to understand the logic, who are the people behind those most popular Instagram accounts in Belarus. And first I took ČP Belarus. It's the aggregator of news about the accidents and basically crime news. So indeed we see here that it's almost fully followed by people inside Belarus. Yeah, there are some people in Russia, France, United States of America, Netherlands. Perhaps this is the VPN, like someone who are using internet with the VPN, like following it, but with the VPN. I don't have any other explanation why so. Yeah, or it could be something else, of course. We could think about how to explain it. Then actually you could also check the cities where most of the people are. I think also it's here all quite clear. Just Novosibirsk is a little bit a mystery, but we see that yeah, the Minsk is less than half, so it's quite evenly distributed in terms of the population. Then of course they have these statistics about how real the subscribers are, whether they're real people or whether they are so-called mass followers, like suspicious accounts, like not accounts of real people. So for them it's kind of important to trace how authentic the audience is. So we see it's quite high amount of real people. What struck me actually is that I expected, my expectation was that this account, the aggregator of informational accidents, would be mainly followed by males. So it would be rather males who would be interested in this kind of news because it's really like car accidents, crime, etc. But we see that actually women are prevailing, and especially women are significantly prevailing in the age group from 18 to 24. And maybe you would have some explanation. First, does it surprise you, or is it normal for you from your perspective?
Maybe it's because of not not female rights, but about women which are worried about their safety, and they're always checking the news just to be aware of some criminals who are like not present yet, haven't present yet. So
Mhm.
probably that's why this is the statistic.
Mhm. Thank you, Daria. Makes sense totally. I agree. But then why in this younger age group, 18-24? Because usually it's a stereotype, very much a stereotype. But there is one that in this age, women are careless, that they don't think much about, they don't
Maybe
worry
it
much.
was before, but now I guess a lot of women are really worried about their safety. And even in Instagram, I noticed recently that there are a lot of talks about patriarchy and about the fact that women just can't afford themselves to I don't know, walk around in the dark or etc. And even like young girls are worried about that too, because there are a lot of videos with a comparison when the same questions are asked from women and men, and the answers are different.
Mhm. But thank you very very much. It's also very interesting because you said nowadays. It also would be very interesting to think about when streets in Belarus stopped being safe, and actually maybe it could be interesting to compare to find kind of analogies to ЧП Belarus in Ukraine, for example. Okay, Ukraine is a war, but in other kind like Latvia or maybe Lithuania, I don't know, Slovakia, Moldova, I don't know, and check whether there would be the same tendency that the women would be prevailing, maybe not that dramatically prevailing, but still prevailing. But yeah, maybe some more comments on this or questions about this particular. It's like because what is really interesting that this account, it comes in the top 10. That means it's like if we take the core of the media system of Belarus in case of Instagram, this would be like the core. That means that the one that is massively followed by the audience in Belarus. Because of course there are a lot of accounts that are massively followed by audience in Belarus, but their majority is still in Russia, in Ukraine, Kazakhstan, etc. Especially it concerns some of the celebrities from Belarus that are working, first of all, for the external markets. But channels like ЧП Belarus, they synchronize Belarusian kind of agenda. So it's basically they're one of those synchronizers. They make the national media system. And yeah, it's a sad situation that we have not much culture there, not much good emotions, but mainly discounts, shopping, accidents, etc. That means that we're as a society in Belarus are in not a very good shape right now, I would dare to say. But yeah, maybe more comments on this, questions, comments on this. Just the next one is it also allows to trace the engagement rate, and of course the highest engagement is August 15th, 2020, after the most massive violence in police violence in history of Belarus. So it's quite clear why so much engagement here. So maybe some comments, questions about this. Maybe nothing surprising
Maybe,
here. Yeah.
maybe if we are talking about why there are a lot of women, as you said now that the most activities was after the police.
Violence.
Yes, and this protest, there are a lot of women in there, so maybe this can be related,
Mm-hmm.
that women go to protests and they need to know what happened in their city, in their country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, could make sense that a lot of subscribers just came back then in August, but and stayed there. But do we have it? Yeah, not now. I'll check it. I'll check it. The kind of the growth. Yeah, maybe we could just go and check it now. Just a second. Um, just give me a second to download. Be able to answer you, Masha, on this. To what extent it was actually the growth? We don't really see it. Just I'll share the screen again. Just give me a moment. Yeah, here. See, the growth is pretty organic. Yes, there was the quite steady growth from when it was formed, but then you don't really see the super massive growth in August. Yes, there is some small jump with from I don't know 617,000 on 10th of August to 644,000 in on 22nd of August, but it's not that dramatic also. But of course we kind of yeah we should recognize that indeed a lot of people went there in order to follow the kind of violence online. I think that's true. We can recognize it. So thank you, Masha, yeah, for this for noting it. But yeah, it was all for us the kind of the opportunity to kind of to look at what's mm, yeah what can be traced actually by the platform. So I'm just back to my presentation, I guess, and we'll share the screen again. If there are more questions, please ask. I'll just show a couple of more. This is this fixed price Belarus, and also we see that it's followed predominantly in Belarus. Yes, some people in Russia, some people in Ukraine. Perhaps it's people who just commute, or some people who just subscribed a while ago and decided not to unsubscribe. But in general, it's almost fully in Belarus, and also mainly real people with the same kind of situation. And then in terms of cities, Minsk is slightly better represented than in the previous case. But so here, like the distribution is much more even, I guess. So people in the regions, so-called, they're kind of following these discounts as well. And then here, of course, the statistics about the gender is quite straightforward. We see that it's fully women. It's like basically like a beauty blog here. That's also interesting. Does it mean that it's only women who try to economize and men don't want to economize, or is it rather that this particular discounts aggregator is mainly for women? That means like the goods that are being sold there are female. Do you know this resource, Fixed Price Belarus? Is someone kind of aware of it?
Yes, it's like the network of little shops with low prices in Belarus.
Yes, Sasha wanted to say something. Please, Sasha.
Yeah, I wanted to like assume why women are predominant because usually women shop for the household like supplies, so it's not the big surprise that women usually follow these things because they're in charge of this aspect.
So basically, it's thank you, Sasha. So basically, it's evidence that Belarus is now quite patriarchal society. So women have to go and arrange the household appliances and.
I mean, it's kind of worldwide because I did some data analysis for one of the courses in HU not so long ago, and it's like proven worldwide that unfortunately women bear this responsibility because apparently men cannot do that themselves. So it's a common thing for now.
I don't know. Yeah, but thank you. So I guess it could be interesting to further think about gender dimension of shopping in general. Like, would there be some kind of discounts aggregators where men would dominate in Belarus and beyond? So I don't know if someone is interested in this kind of shopping aspect of social media. It's kind of like, I guess it's an interesting point to start thinking about it and just proposing to pay attention to it. Yes, engagement rate history also. Actually, we also we when we tried to explain this kind of decline of Pinterest use in Belarus, we said that yeah, it's perhaps the most economically active part of society, the younger one, the kind of the most, I mean, middle class kind of people are massively leaving Belarus starting from 2021. And perhaps also this graph shows this. Let's also at some point come back to. Yeah. So I think, yeah, maybe I just also stop sharing and try to go to the platform and see what's there with the subscribers growth. Yeah, I think also kind of what we see, it's not a drop really, but we see that there is a certain kind of slowdown of the followers growth. We see that it's growing quite quickly in 2019, and in 2020 it's growing, but then it slows down in 2021, and it's basically the moment when repressions actually start and when people start leaving the country. Because in winter still it was euphoria, in autumn euphoria, in winter euphoria, but then repressions, and we have kind of that economic activity is really rather flat, not very active. So yeah. So I think perhaps yeah we could at least start playing with this idea of emigration or exodus of the most economically active people in Belarus in 2020 in early 2021. Maybe someone wants to add here something or anything else to discuss? Yeah, so I think maybe we just go and look. Yeah, we have quite a lot of time, and I think we should go and to look at the software itself a little bit more closely, because it's something that you would be analyzing. So yeah, you see my screen, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, yes, you see my screen. So kind of we can go again and see, for example, not Instagram, but TikTok. Okay, individual TikTok statistics would be not so good in terms of data about the audience, but still we could try get something. So again, if we take, for example, uh, the most popular TikTok channels in terms of average views, and I think this is what the platform itself prioritizes. We also see quite a lot of kind of projects which are like Litski Kvass, for example, or Most Wanted, or Absorb Buy. I think it's also like related to shopping and things like this, perhaps something that we wouldn't expect. I don't know, is something surprising you in this top 10 when we look at this top 10 of TikTok for specifically for audience in Belarus in terms of the average views?
Yeah,
No,
let's kick Kvass. Like I didn't expect to see it here.
Anything else? Maybe do you know some of these influencers or projects like Belarus 360 or something else?
I just know Absorb by.
Hmm?
Yeah, only Absorb by also.
Mhm. Okay, let's maybe check what kind of data is available for it, and we see that yeah, maybe those who know it also. Are you surprised that it's predominantly female audience here?
maybe it's also somehow connected with the consuming behavior, and that's why women are prevailing. And also, I have a thought about Most Wanted. If I'm not mistaken, it's a clothes shop.
Yeah.
And I guess that it might be in the top 10 just because of a lot of Belarusian shops like that use the Instagram for promotion of their like goods. And I guess that's it could be a lot of bots and like it's not so relevant subscribers and maybe it's just I don't know, not all of them are valid. Yeah.
Mhm.
But
But
also could be followed by children because they like some not children but teenagers because they like fashion, they like to be trendy, and that's why they could follow it but not buying.
thank you very much, Daria. Just one remark. It's not Instagram, it's actually TikTok that we're
Oh,
saying.
sorry, TikTok. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but it's okay, of course. But and the important thing that it's not really statistics on followers, on who are the most followed, but it's the mostly viewed on average. So actually, the very often platforms prioritize those channels or those projects, not those that have the most views in total, and not those who have the most followers in total, but those who have most views on average. And in this case, yes, Most Wanted indeed it's female clothing, and interestingly that it has quite a lot of subscribers from Kazakhstan also, and yes, it's obviously all female just because it's female clothing. And then I think it's always an interesting question, like in this case, or in case of some female beauty blogs, when there is some, I don't know, 5, 7, 3% of men. Like, interesting question, who are these men actually? Are they like queer men rather who want to get inspired from how women are actually taking care of them? Or are these men like a straight men who just like to be, I would say, like to admire women and maybe say compliments to women? I think it's interesting question also. Who are these men here? Here, what is interesting about TikTok reports is that they managed to show the type of audience in terms of their activities, like how many of this audience are actually generators who generate content, how many of them are actually consumers who rather consume than generate. And yeah, of course, always you have some kind of suspicious accounts that don't look authentic here. So yeah, maybe we could check also Litski Kvass just out of curiosity, maybe to understand what's behind it, and maybe finally here it will be just men. And in terms of age, you see that it's much more even, but you see also women are actually dominant in the Litski Kvass audience, especially in the younger age categories. Also, would you have an explanation? Because to me, also from a very stereotypical point of view, Kvass would be rather boys drink, not girls drink, or maybe I'm
It's
just
not a beer.
not clever enough, or I don't know. It's not a beer, of course, but still. Yeah, but it's more anecdotal, of course.
Maybe it
yeah.
depends of on what they posted, because I don't know why should anyone to subscribe to Litsky official channel. What do they, I don't know, talk about? Maybe there's some, I don't know, content for women.
Yeah,
women.
of course. Yeah, of course, it's promotion, and perhaps they do some funny videos. So it would be interesting to check like this kind of Belarusian brands, how they behave actually. What are their yeah. Let's maybe again look at Instagram a little bit, and yeah. So here it would be audience. So yeah, we saw this already when we discussed it. What is interesting is that in case of Instagram, you have quite good quality data about age, gender, and location. So that means that the platform itself allows you to check not only just a sec. We can check, for example, not a country but a city. Just before we looked for the most followed Instagram accounts where at least 51% of audiences in Belarus for Belarus, and now we check the same, apply the same filter, but not about Belarus, but about Minsk, and we have slightly different kind of situation, but we have very similar also situation. We have also much more orientation towards consumption, and this kind of ЧП. Yeah, we have the first. I mean, no. In Belarus there is one phase. Here we have another phase. Ведущий Jan Sienkiewicz. I don't know. Do you know who he is? Maybe you know this project.
No, actually, I
No.
don't.
Not really, but that's interesting. That is someone who is somehow followed in Belarus, because we of course we imagine perhaps the situation in Belarus now as after the large scale repressions as one where it's very difficult to be celebrity, to talk about the kind of public issues, but now some people are there. For example, we could look at the same thing in Vilnius and to see also how much Vilnius will be about businesses and retail and shopping and not about people. And I suppose there will be more businesses than faces also. That's the kind of regularity about the urban thing. But no, still, yeah, there is like I don't know, basketball team and also some beauty businesses, but still the faces dominate. If to look at Kyiv, for example. And also to set 51%. Also, we see the faces dominate, but also there are aggregators about the places or Kyiv News or name like I don't know what's also like flowers. Of course, there is one leading account of the business to sell flowers, etc., etc. And YouTube also, it could be interesting to check. I was showing you last time that Belarus is interesting because it's quite a political YouTube, but also we have just seen that the general popularity of YouTube in Belarus went down quite dramatically. I think it's like the result of the general disillusionment or the general disappointment of the public civic life. So what we see here also that we have more and more accounts that are so-called apolitical, like Avibai, actually, I think, is it about the cars? I'm not sure. Let's check it. Yes, it's cars. So we see that of course the like it's stereotypical, but we see the gender dimension here. So yeah, we can actually see that also this kind of consumer products are becoming more present in YouTube in comparison with, I don't know, 1 year ago when it was fully political or fully civic. So here we have at least two ones on cars. And also, like in each of these social networks, we can do zoom in and actually look at the categories. Like, for example, humor. In case of Belarus, it would be very, very little, and like yeah, of course, in Ukraine, it will be much bigger. But also we should keep it in mind that sometimes it is not fully clear why the platform assigns a certain channel kind of category of humor or of politics of something else. Yeah, I think also using this we could see, for example, the differences in terms of genre. What is Belarusian humor? What is Ukrainian humor? What is Lithuanian humor, etc., etc. So something here we could do. So maybe back to Instagram and to Belarus, because it's now again, Instagram is, in terms of traffic, is the most popular social network currently in this particular moment. And let's again go here and try to look at it in terms of again setting up categories. Yes, for example, let's look at music maybe. Let's see what we will get. Yeah, very again not super clear why certain accounts are being interpreted as musical ones. Yeah, let's maybe take something else like education. Yeah, where the HU will be. Yeah, it will be somewhere, I guess, maybe not too close, but yeah, also let's for example see what would be the most kind of followed educational projects in Belarus and in Ukraine. That I think would be interesting comparison. I think not so different in terms of communication and also like style of communication, and also in terms of the content, what kind of courses these are. It's like usually English, driving, and things like that. So I don't know. I hope it's more or less creates the kind of general picture of what we're going to do. We have some time, so perhaps we could try something like or maybe first we give a floor to Alessia to talk about her ideas, and then we could come back to the platform and perhaps check what you would be interested in, and also for it's for you to start thinking what you would like to be exploring. I hope I kind of I present the possibilities that are there. Or are there any kind of immediate remarks or questions or reflections? Yeah, then Alessia, would you go and kind of talk?
Yep, yep. I actually thought about a few topics. So one of them is Russian politics. Ekaterina Schulman. But I think for research we need to to add comparison here. So I'm thinking about maybe second or third person. One more, it's about journalists. Varlamov, also Russian journalists. Varlamov, Maxim Katz, and I forgot how his second name. He has channel Reduction. It's the name. Pivovarov maybe. Those guys kind of do the same thing almost. So they have almost every day videos about what happened in the in the world, not only in Russian, and they have I'm sure they have different audience. So because I have by myself I have some I don't know like favorites. So I do watch one of them most than others. So I'm interested in what's difference in statistics, what's the age, what's the I don't know what's the reason of it, because maybe how they talk or how they I don't know use words or maybe topics, because topics basically are the same. Like yesterday, all of them uploaded a video about yesterday and today about this scene in Makhachkala. So like they are very fast. So that's are my ideas. I can share this file what you sent me if it needed.
Maybe I think maybe you already recognized some interesting differences in the audience, or what like as far as I remember, I guess Ekaterina Schulman's audience is much younger than the audience of the other bloggers, I guess. Or it just it would be interesting kind of to start already to start comparing things.
I thought that they are almost the same, but I not really didn't have time to analyze it properly.
Yeah, but then of course let's do it next time already. But I think in general the very idea to kind of to compare bloggers of a similar genre and to see whether they are actually overlapping or not, whether they are kind of addressing all the audience that is there in I mean all categories in terms of age, in terms of gender, that is there in their countries. I think it could be interesting thing. Another interesting thing is, given that now the Russian diaspora is growing, is like who is working much more for the diaspora and who is working much more for people inside of Russia. I think it also could be interesting question to figure out. I don't know, maybe colleagues, you have some questions or suggestions to what Alessia has said, because I think the topic itself could be interesting to different people, this kind of journalist slash political commenters in Russian Federation, and how it could work. Also because of the hard conditions in which journalist media projects are now in Russian Federation, or like Russian diaspora abroad. Anyone to comment on? Тоже, может быть, на какое-то время перейдем на локальный язык, потому что я смотрю, что, как бы пару человек реагируют, может быть, сложности с английским языком. Как-то понятно ли, что мы обсуждали до этого? Как бы есть ли какие-то реакции на идею, которую представила Олеся сейчас?
Честно, вот именно вот этот вот отрезок пары, то, что вот Олеся говорила, я не до конца поняла.
А то, что до этого обсуждали, более-менее понятно.
В целом, да, конечно.
До этого понятно все.
Хорошо, тогда, Олеся, может быть, вы тогда как-то суммируете на локальном языке, что вы собираетесь делать?
Ага. В общем, если кратко, то сейчас я пока думаю про нескольких людей, которые мне интересны, и было бы интересно посмотреть статистику. Это одна из них, это Екатерина Шульман, она политолог. Вот. Дальше у нее, кстати, набралась популярность с начала войны. Она прям очень здорово выросла, потому что, как она сама говорит, люди хотят, видимо, хотят ответов и хотят понять, что происходит. И, в общем, какой-то голос адекватности стал очень популярен. Вот. Да, дальше я еще думаю про Варламова. Это журналист. И еще несколько журналистов, которых тоже периодически смотрю. Это КАЦ и редакция. Вот. Но, возможно, я как-то, поскольку желательно сравнить, то вот, наверное, было бы интересно именно с журналистами это сделать, потому что они делают похожую работу. Вот. Но у них, я уверена, разная аудитория. У меня пока еще нет там статистики за последних двоих. Вот интересно посмотреть будет.
Может, да. Олеся, я тогда небольшое буквально сделаю, то есть вклинюсь чуть-чуть, тоже, потому чтобы у людей была возможность задавать. У меня пока нет, да, я, может быть, покажу просто чуть-чуть статистики про два российских проекта, которые в таком как бы, медийных, которые в таком полулегальном, скажем так, положении, то есть, со всеми теми существующими ограничениями. Первый — это «Живой гвоздь». Я так понимаю, он во многом вырос из «Эхо Москвы». И мне кажется, тут, что интересно, что тут большая, что у них, они охватывают большое количество аудитории, которая постарше, скажем так, после 35 лет. И при этом, конечно, все-таки интересно, что у них большое количество людей тоже в Украине их как-то слушает. Я, кстати, еще не разобрался, насколько оккупированные территории считаются вот в этой статистике украинскими или российскими, как это работает. Америка, я думаю, это может быть вполне и диаспора, и могут быть VPN-ы. тоже в Беларуси, интересно. И второй момент, это вы видите, да, сейчас уже другой слайд, телеканал «Дождь», видите его или
Мы
нет?
смотрим на страны еще живого гвоздя.
Тогда сейчас я покажу другой. Этот,
А это канал, он тоже живой гвоздь. Это с Эхо он вышел.
да, скорее, я так понимаю, что, может быть, российские коллеги лучше это знают сейчас. Насколько я понимаю, что да, это его делают журналисты.
Да, это то, что осталось после эхо, и то, что сейчас функционирует как эхо.
Спасибо большое, Маша. И мы вот посмотрим ТВ «Дождь» тоже, который там попал в скандал тоже довольно серьезный в Латвии. И мы видим тоже, что довольно большое количество в России есть, тоже большое количество в Соединенных Штатах и тоже довольно большое количество в Украине. И в Германии тоже. Я так понимаю, что Германия это большая как бы дестинация для диаспоры российской, особенно более образованной, которая, я думаю, с большего и есть аудиторией «Живого гвоздя», бывшего «Эхо Москвы» и ТВ «Дождь». Ну и мы видим, что здесь, в принципе, более молодая аудитория и тоже в большей степени женская. Хотя, кстати, да, я сейчас не обратил внимания, как с «Живым гвоздем» там ситуация. Но она все-таки помоложе, я думаю, чуть-чуть. Ну вот это интересно. Кстати, вот тоже интересно было бы сравнить, может быть, с белорусскими ресурсами медийными, которые вещают из-за границы, насколько они активно охватывают именно более возрастную часть населения. Я думаю, это могла бы быть интересная тема. Поэтому вот, ну, как бы, естественно, когда мы думаем, Олеся выбрала там конкретных российских журналистов, политических комментаторов, конечно, было бы хорошо, если бы вы в какой-то момент сели, подумали, попытались нарисовать гипотезу, в том числе в виде схемы, да, показать, что вот как вы себе представляете ту часть, в данном случае российского медиа пространства, там, медиа среды, которую вам хотелось бы понять, которую вам хотелось бы лучше как бы объяснить для себя. Ну и вот, ну, исходя из этого уже начать дальше делать следующие шаги, там, в том числе запрашивать статистику у меня. Поэтому, ну вот я бы предложил все-таки тоже это ну, как бы на не фокусироваться на отдельном, но как-то пытаться видеть логику общей медиасистемы. Еще раз тогда порекомендую вам этот ресурс StatCounter, который считает трафик в социальных сетях да, разных национальных контекстов. Тоже там есть платные и бесплатные версии, но я уверен, что вы хотя бы в какой-то степени с бесплатной версией поработаете, и тоже это вам что-то поможет. Есть какие-то еще сейчас, как вы думаете, что нужно было бы обсудить? Олеся, что бы вы как-то добавили, может быть, еще? Я вас прервал в какой-то момент.
Нет, я, в принципе, наверное, уже сказала основную пока идею. Вот. Надо теперь это все обдумать, посмотреть, что там может быть интересного, и, ну, какие-то, может быть, необычности заметить. Ну вот.
У коллег, может быть, еще тогда какие-то вопросы. Тоже у нас большое количество коллег, которые еще не высказывались. Может быть, давайте хотя бы включим камеры все на какой-то момент, чтобы познакомиться. Потому что я кого-то еще даже не видел, я не знаю, в какой момент мы начнем общаться, в принципе. Потому что вот на следующее занятие уже я буду просить вас представлять ваши исследовательские проекты. То есть это значит, что уже вам нужно будет прийти с какими-то со слайдами. Сейчас я вам тоже скину ссылку на Moodle, то, что я вам показывал. То есть это уже в следующий раз. То есть вам загружать ничего не нужно будет, но вам нужно будет показать слайды, а загружать уже нужно будет после презентации. Маша, у вас вопрос был.
Вы сказали, что можно отправить вам страницы, чтобы вы их закинули в анализатор. Это как-то через Moodle или вам на почту или
Лучше
куда?
всего по имейлу, это будет быстрее всего.
Хорошо, спасибо.
И у нас на следующей неделе ведь есть занятия, да? У нас каждую неделю, я так понимаю, по понедельникам. Да,
Да.
и да. Тогда получилось ли у вас посмотреть введение книги Where Data? Я просил. Просто хорошо было бы нам в какой-то момент уже начать и по концептуальным вопросам беседовать. То есть не только по методологическим и, я не знаю, эмпирическим, но и по концептуальным.
Я начала, если на русском. Ну, там так прилично. Я сначала, на самом деле, стала читать заключение книги, чтобы сразу, в общем, да, перейти ко всему интересному. Ну и вот где-то в середине, наверное, я интродакшена.
Мгм. Ну, пожалуйста, всем очень рекомендую читать введение, потому что, ну, это тоже, что обязательно, ну, это обязательно, как бы нам обязательно всем быть на одной странице в этом обсуждении, потому что, ну, можно, конечно, чисто инструментально рассматривать, что мы сейчас делаем, там, как просто мониторинг медиа-среды какой-то одной страны, там, или в какой-то одной сфере в одной стране. На самом деле вам нужно понимать, что, ну, как бы осведомленность в статистике о социальных медиа, о том, что происходит в той или иной медиасистеме, вам нужно будет обязательно, если вы хотите работать в медиа. Что что-то, ну, как бы, что вам нужно обязательно иметь в виду. Поэтому я показывал этот пример Ирана, да, что, ну, как бы, в сегодняшней перспективе нам кажется очевидно, что, ну, это же было так ясно, что вот все идет к большому протесту и к большому столкновению с государством, но как бы никто об этом особо не говорил. Ну, просто нам нужно научиться действительно видеть тенденции и как бы понимать, чего ожидать завтра, послезавтра от той среды, которая у нас складывается. А у нас действительно наша жизнь социальная, она... Я понимаю, что это сейчас звучит как такой трюизм, очень такой как бы что-то само собой разумеющееся, но действительно наша жизнь все больше и больше медиирована социальными сетями, поэтому нам, ну, важно уметь видеть тенденции в этой сфере, понимать их как-то, распутывать, интерпретировать и так далее. Для этого нам нужны понятия. Чтобы у нас были понятия, как с этим работать, нам нужно тоже читать достаточно, поэтому да, очень рекомендую читать эту книгу, и тоже в следующий раз давайте уже как-то начнем к ней ссылаться, ну, как бы делать какие-то отсылки, как-то работать с ней в большей степени. Но опять же, в первую очередь буду ожидать тогда ваших исследовательских вопросов через неделю. Есть ли еще какие-то вопросы последние
А
с
нам
вашей
нужно будет сделать презентацию, да?
Да, слайды. Там
Мгм.
есть количество слайдов, и там до 7 минут презентация.
Это будет что-то типа, как мы делали ранее по социологии, то есть там на каждый слайд размещаешь там исследовательский вопрос, аккаунт и так далее, и
В
презентуешь.
принципе, да, в принципе, да.
Хорошо.
Вот такой вопрос. Получается, на следующей паре у нас будет как бы представление черновиков еще только идей, или уже должна быть более-менее сформулирована она?
Уже должна быть более... Ну, конечно, хорошо было бы... Вы бы хотели... Вы не чувствуете себя уверенно, потому что, в принципе, это уже оцениваемое задание. Мы можем его перенести на через 2 недели. Тогда на следующей неделе давайте выберем там 3 человек или 4, чьи черновики мы максимально подробно разберем. А тогда оценивать будем через 2 недели. На оценки ставить через 2 недели будем. Давайте тогда, кто хотел бы быть в этой 4? Хорошо, тогда Полина, Юлия, Альгерт. Ну, давайте в 5. Яна. Ну, хорошо, давайте, давайте тогда черновики. Все будьте готовы с черновиками, тогда мы их будем обсуждать, а уже там чистовики через 2 недели.
Все из вот этих 5 или вся группа?
Вся группа будьте готовы с черновиками. Если кто-то не готов с черновиком, ну ладно, но как бы если вы представите черновик, тем сильнее у вас будет, ну, как бы чистовой вариант, потому что вы получите какой-то фидбэк, поправите и
Можно
ну
еще
что,
вопрос?
да.
Можно брать, допустим, там инстаграмы из одной страны, допустим, только из Беларуси? Или нужно все-таки постараться из разных стран взять?
Нет, конечно, можно из одной страны. Это, конечно, вопрос вашего воображения, в конце концов.
Угу, хорошо.
Еще кто-то хотел бы
Вроде
высказать?
как нет.
Тогда благодарю всех за то, что присоединились сегодня, и до встречи через неделю.
До свидания, спасибо.
Спасибо, до
Спасибо, до
свидания.
свидания.
Спасибо, до свидания.